I promise you we'll do it very, very shortly. But I might actually try to bring some of you in. So comments. I want to start first of all by talking about the brutal murder of Aya Hashim, the 19-year-old British Lebanese girl who was brutally murdered in Blackburn. A very sad, sad moment. And there's two aspects to it. One is obviously cannot believe what the parents are going through. But then we saw some takfiris, disgusting human beings, I'd say, who suddenly found out that Aya Hashim and her family are Shia, and that somehow that would negate the need for them to fundraise. And we saw those comments on Twitter, and we saw the far right trying to take advantage of that. I just think it's disgusting and appalling. And what sort of world we live in the holy month of Ramadan, that we don't have any compassion for a father and a mother whose 19-year-old daughter went to the shops to be killed. Went to the shops to get food, and that she didn't return home. She was killed. And the rampant anti-Shia rhetoric that we see within our community. Now, I'm the very first to tell you that I have some very strong personal beliefs about the honouring the Sahaba, and certainly I don't really want to get into that. The message I'm trying to get across is I'm very strong in my beliefs as they are in their beliefs. But what is not acceptable is the sectarianism we saw. And I stand with her family. And what's really interesting, and I will take some comments as well, our ulama, our Muslim leaders, organizations have been quite silent, and I've been disappointed in that we should have seen a real strong coming together of our community to say, regardless of her background, regardless of even her religion, the fact that we have a family who've lost their beautiful daughter. Put yourself in their shoes. Put yourself in a situation where you happen to be a Wahhabi or a Salafi or a Hadith, or a Brelvi, and you suddenly, shot and you're killed, or a member of your family is killed. What reaction would you then feel? And they say in Pakistan कि क्या कहते हैं उर्दू में, we say, don't we, that somebody's daughter is everybody's daughter, somebody's sister is everybody's sister, and this is how we feel that we treat somebody. And Aya Hashim was one of those such people. Let me bring Muhammad Shafaqat Saab on, because this brother and me we've been quite patient. Let's bring him on, because trying to get that perspective. Where does this anti-Shiaism come from? Because most of the people I sit with, I have lots and lots of friends who are Shia. Yes, we have you finally. We're live. Shafaqat Saab.
I wasn't well. I was in I've got a bit of an eye infection, so I've been to the walk-in centre.
Yeah.
And it's like very
okay.
difficult.
Well, you joined us at a perfect time. We're talking really about Aya Hashim and the sort of disgusting rhetoric that we saw in regards to her being Shia, as if that would matter, as if somebody brutally being killed and her parents, trying to deal with that trauma, their daughter, beautiful daughter, being killed, and then have to deal with this horrific abuse towards them. It's been disgusting. What would you say about that?
I'll be honest with you, Shafiq. Especially yourself, mashallah, you're always at the forefront of any issue regarding the Muslim community. And I've been mainly following your updates because you're always, majority of the time, you give a lot of authentic stuff. Because there was a lot of videos coming out about her death and the shooting and going viral in WhatsApp groups. But then from yourself, I picked up this. I didn't even realize it. Then if somebody like Katie Hopkins to share this, and that really, really hurt me. Honestly, it really. And I wrote a few things on my status, but how much can we say? I've always been an advocate for Muslim unity, brotherhood, always, and I will do that to the dying days. Because the point is, we keep talking about sazish. We keep saying, "Oh, people are causing disunity in the Muslim Ummah." I mean, who are the others? It's me and others and ourselves. What is this? How can people even think to use her sectarian beliefs.
It's
If she's
disgusting, isn't it?
this is our humanity. She's our daughter. She's the daughter of
Yeah.
this community,
I
of
was
this
just saying
country.
before, I don't know if you heard, I was just saying, Shafakat Sab, that for us, you know, somebody's daughter is everybody's daughter.
Exactly.
I think in Pakistan they say it's betiyan sab ki hoti hain.
बिल्कुल बेटियां सांझी होती हैं.
That's the word.
You
Yeah,
know,
I was trying to look for the word. Thank you.
yeah, this is our culture. This is our way. I'm telling you, she could be anybody from any nation, from any faith, no faith. It does not bother me. She's a human being. She was innocent. She was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and we're doing funding for her. Then all of a sudden, oh, am I going to be asked for, you know, about her faith or doing something? What are you talking about? Where are we as a ummah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? Look how we talk. Look at our ibadat. What I don't get about the Muslim community, that concludes me first. You know, you can
Yeah.
pray is for yourself. You can go to Hajj, that is for yourself. You give zakat, everything is for the individual. But Islam, the key to Islam, the Prophet ﷺ was a mercy for mankind. It didn't say Muslims. It said mankind, humankind. So Allah is all merciful to everybody. When for example, our rosy, yeah, it's written. We know it's written for us. When the rosy stopped for the whole half of the world through this pandemic, Allah didn't choose Muslim, non-Muslim, good, bad, anything. He stopped it for 4 billion people nearly, because that's how Allah is master of the universe.
Yeah.
And Muslim, we should be at the forefront of our humanity. We should be at the forefront of a brotherhood between the deen. Listen, what the Muslim community needs to realize, and I'm appealing to the Muslim community in particular, the Shia, the Sunni, all of you, we will have differences. We've had them for nearly 1400 years. Through time, after the Prophet ﷺ, after the Khulafai Rashidin, the differences started. Yeah? So we've had them in time. We will continue these. Why can't we not debate about issues, respect each other's differences? Yes, anybody who goes.
Because we have a situation, sorry, Shafaka Sab, we have a situation where in essence, that disagreement's there. And, you know, we have our way, they have their way. But actually on those common issues that affect our community, we're able to get together and we're able to, you know, work together. I just found it distasteful. I mean, I think when I first discovered, because I was talking to a member of the family, not the parents, but a cousin of Aya in the last few days, and she was telling me yesterday about the anti-Shia hatred that her and her family were getting, just because it's shocking. You know, they're dealing with the trauma of the fact that their cousin just being brutally murdered and shot at randomly in the street, and then have to support their parents and the wider family. And then they switch on social media and they might go into your post, they might see my post, the public post on Twitter or whatever, you know, offering that solidarity and love and taking comfort from that. And they took a lot of comfort from that. But then actually what you have is you know, people sending a hate mail and sending a disgusting messages on social media. And I just found it so distasteful. I couldn't say anything at the time because I just didn't want to address it. But then I thought, you know what we'll do? I'm just going to take a few days to, a few hours to calm myself down by reading Durood Sharif. And I did that. But I just find it, where are we? What have we become?
I'll tell you where we are.
What have we become?
We have to take on the elephant in the room. Listen, people like myself, yourself, inshallah, I know it's difficult. People will, and I've followed you a long time, Shafiq. Mashallah, you do great work, and I know you get a lot of aggro. I get a lot of aggro, and I condemn them. People that are always on your back. Alhamdulillah, they should be proud of somebody like you, who's always been the face of the Muslim community. Yourself,
oh, you know, gal yaad aayi hai. Tusan ki gal suna liya. P Nasiruddin Nasir Rahmatullah Alayhi Gola Sharif. They used to say in their speeches, Shah Sahib used to say, कि जिन्होंने दुश्मन ज़्यादा ना, वो बंदा ज़्यादा सही है.
Bilkul. Oh, haqq par hai. And I think, so, and I'm with you. And I'm with you. And mashallah,
I'm with you as well, my brother.
You're like a role model for our community, and mashallah, and we need more people. We need more Muhammad Shafiqs in the community.
And it's interesting now, sorry, brother. So we're on live. We're talking about this, and we've already seen disgusting comments on this live broadcast now. Somebody called Kamran Khan. Shias are dirty rats who slap themselves. And this is what we have to take on. Kamran Khan, you're obviously watching, bro. And I just find it disgusting and distasteful. Okay, I actually have certain views, and you know, I have, as I said, many people from the Shia community who are personal friends. I have a lot of respect for the likes of Mustafa Field, who's doing some fantastic work in London. There's Mikdad Versi, for example.
What about Mehdi Hassan? Mehdi Hassan,
Yeah, Mehdi Hassan. You know, there's lots and lots of people out there who are doing such a good job, and we can have those disagreements. And my brother, Sheikh Muhammad Umar, who's the chairman of the Ramadan Foundation, he sits on a panel of scholars where they debate these issues, the issues that people have, the differences that we have. And I think we should leave it at that.
One thing fascinates me that this deen is so beautiful, and you know what? I have my akida, yeah, and my father was the Marid of Gol Rashdi. Yeah, let me tell you one thing.
MashaAllah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was, mashallah, absolutely,
Of
adorable.
Babuji.
Yeah, bilkul.
MashaAllah.
So let me tell you one thing, right? So the thing is, Shafiq, right? It's all about individual. Listen, my iman, my akida, am I that weak that somebody can take it from me? Am I that weak? If I am Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat, I am proud to be Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat. If somebody's a Shia, somebody's a Wahhabi, somebody's Salafi, to each their own. And the day of Qiyamah, I will be accountable for my own self. This is the month of Ramadan. We sit with the ulama, tell us to do Laylatul Qadr, to ask for forgiveness. We pray. We've got the beards. We are claimed to be such pious people. But Allah says in the Quran, do not claim to be piety. I know how pious you are. Allah knows it. Allah keeps saying, the men of knowledge. What does Allah say in the Quran? For those of men who understand. So everybody doesn't understand deen? Of course. These are the important things that we need to realize. That I'm telling you, I strongly stand by it, and I'm telling you, I'm with you and everybody. The Muslim community, we are one. We have differences. We'll have differences to the day of Qiyamah. But anybody who plays the sectarian card, I would advise the youth. I'm telling the youth, because they're the next generation. Do not stand with any scholar that divides the Muslim Ummah. I'm telling you on record, because you know what? Don't blame others. Let's get away from here.
And you know, I asked you the question, where does this hatred come from? Because we know in Pakistan, no, I'm just saying, you think it's ingrained?
Of course. Listen, Shafiq, you've got children, I've got children. Yeah, let's just take me and yourself. If we start telling them so and so is bad from a young age, they're gonna grow up with that. So it comes from family, and it comes from, sorry to say, some of the ulama who have cashed this. It's very easy to put hatred in people. What about the far right? Where did the far right get the hatred for the Muslim community? Where did it ingrained?
And there is a sense that you can have honourable disagreements, can't you? And you can do that in a responsible, respectful way, and say, well, you know, I disagree with you on this, you disagree with me on this. I'm not going to disrespect you and disrespect your personalities that you want to, and, you know, I'm not going to do the same to you. But I just find it, regardless of your faith, you could be a Muslim, you could be a Jew, a Christian, the fact that you've got so much hatred in your heart towards a young 19-year-old girl who's been brutally murdered and her family, I mean, it's shocking beyond belief. And as you said, you think it's ingrained. I think it's been brainwashed into people, this anti-Shia rhetoric, that somehow the Shias are aliens. And I think that, for me, is a big worry. As I said, I don't subscribe to their beliefs, and I've disagreed on that. And you remember me on the BBC speaking up against some of the stuff that the Shia community do. But in the end, you can do that responsibly, and then actually say, you know what, this is a common issue that we face. Let's come together. And how can we do that? I mean, what's your message to everybody watching this about, you know, about this murder, and how we can support that family which is going through such a difficult time?
I mean, this is a very difficult time for them. I mean, it's coming up to Eid. They've lost their daughter, and then their own community, their own people who should have their back are saying these kind of things. Honestly, it is really hurtful. And you know, and then what we need to do, I would appeal to the community to help that family as much as you can. They've lost a daughter. Look at their grieving.
It's crazy.
And then on top of that, I'm honestly, honestly, how low is our mentality going to go? How far are we going to go as people? You know, please, your iman, your deen is for yourself, and in the grave, in the day of Qiyamah, you and
Would
we
you
and
would
we
you
all
go would you go
go.
as far as I don't know, we've got some scholars as well who are watching this, so let's see if any of them disagree with me. Their fast, their rosé, their ibadat is worthless. That if they can't show compassion
You
to
know what happens
somebody.
is, when the Muslims were persecuted in Makkah, the Prophet ﷺ told them to go to the land of Abyssinia, which is current day Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Why? The king then was a Christian king. Why did the Prophet ﷺ send them who were coming into the deen to the Christian king? Because he said he was a just king. Justice doesn't belong to we have no right over justice. Islam is based on fairness, love, and justice. You know, we
Yeah.
all watch the drama Ertugrul. Yeah, everybody's talking about it. It's viral everywhere in Pakistan. Why is that drama? Why is it popular? There's millions of media outlets and dramas. I mean, what was it? What was it that made it popular? It was the values of justice, rule of law, and how to live and be as a proper Muslim. When the right is right,
Yeah.
you say it. When wrong is wrong. So if that girl, let me tell you one thing. I'm Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. That ayah was my daughter. That ayah was my daughter. I'm telling you. And I'll tell you one thing, right? Anybody who goes to that level, when that said, betiyan, my betiyan, they
Yeah.
are honored and they are respect.
But
Anybody who plays these cards, I'm sorry, you really need to we're not going to put a whole community of people. No. Any individual who thinks that way, I would advise them, brothers and sisters, to reflect, to go back and just calm down and think, what am I saying here? You know, what this is humanity. She's a Muslim from a different dominion, and we have differences. But you went to that level that I'm on the day of Qiyamah, I'm going to be accountable for this. I don't know why I'm going to be accountable. We miss our salah. We don't talk to our family members. We do so much wrong. Then we sit on the masalla and we got the tasbih and the beard. Allah says in the Quran, I do not look at your faces and your appearances. I look. And doesn't Allah says on the day of Qiyamah, when your children and your wealth will be of no avail, except who comes to me with a sound heart. Now, what's a sound heart? The sound heart is when you have bogus, hatred for anybody. I have no hatred for any non-Muslim. Forget about Muslim. I can never think bad of any Muslim because I'm saying, look, to you, your belief is this way, mine is this is my path.
yeah.
I respect you, you respect mine.
We missed that.
And everything. Don't cross my red lines. I won't cross yours. And let's have a debate. But anybody playing this card in 2020, when we've suffered as a community, we've got so many issues. We've got the far right on our back. We've got major challenges. We've got a generation growing up with we don't know what their future is.
Yeah.
Oh, Shia Sunni, Shia Sunni. What is it? Okay, 40, 50 years we've been debating. What we achieved? What have we achieved?
Nothing.
What you leaving?
Nothing.
What legacy have
we
we
just seen
children?
thousands. I mean, we saw it only a few days ago. That hospital attack in Afghanistan, which was again deliberately targeting the Shia community. So we know that the Shia community have been at the forefront, along with the Sufis and the Barelvis. And this is the irony. If you look at terrorism in Pakistan, for example, the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, when they targeted the Shias, they were also targeting the Sunnis, the Sufis, the Barelvis as well. And the shrines, we know how many Astana were attacked as well. So that's a real big issue. If it's okay with you, Brother Shafak, let's just get through some of these comments because obviously we want people to be partaking. And Tahir Ayub Saab is watching us. Umar Farouk from ITV, mashallah. Barkat Ali Saab, Mujtaba Ahmed, John Griffin, hello sir, Graham Roach. Apologies if we start talking in Urdu for our colleagues who are there. Idris Saab, Idris Shokat from Birmingham. Muhammad Kaleem Sultani is here. Fida Fonza, Ursi Yusuf. I want to bring on Sayyid Asif Ali Shah Saab, who is a member of the Shia community, just to get a Shia perspective. We'll do that very, very shortly after we finish with Shafakat Saab. So we've got Qari Ahmad Raza Jamati Saab from Pakistan. Mustafa Field, sir, I name checked you. Allah bless you. You're doing some fantastic work. But I mean, Mustafa, the way you have Sunni Shia dialogue on an intellectual level. And on an intellectual level, those scholars are having that dialogue and debate on those issues. That's absolutely right. We're not brushing that under the carpet, and there's massive differences. But we're saying that, compassion is the most important thing. Muhammad Taj Saab is watching us. The Muhammad Taj, former president of TUC, is on. Joshua Dean is on. Nabila Mushtaq is cooking while listening to you, brother. While you're listening to both of us now, the two Muhammads. That's a catchphrase, isn't it? The two Muhammads.
Shafiq and Shaf.
Yeah, Qasim Lenny is watching. Sajid Yasir Saab, Assalamu alaikum Janab, wa alaikum salam. Qadiri Jilani from London is watching. Moj Masood, I'm just going through some of these. Sajid Yasir says, a lot of ignorance. Have any British ulama spoken up against this? Where is the scholars and where are the Muslim organizations who seem to jump up on Islamophobia but quite quiet at the moment?
You want to bring some other guests on, and I'm just going to finally say that I would appeal to the ulama from both dominions to come on air and give their verdicts and please educate this community. Mazrat ke saath, some have obviously followed this agenda, promoted this agenda, so they will be silent. But the point is, we're living in 2020.
Sorry, can you just elaborate on that? What you meant? It was a very powerful point which you made. Just say that again.
Well, obviously, if I promoted that agenda, the divide in the Muslim, Allah says in the Quran, hold on to the rope of Allah and do not be divided amongst yourself. So we went against that. We have differences. They have promoted it, so they will be silent. So there's some guilty people probably there as well who think, hang on, I was part of that. Our brain washed half of these people. So you know what? They need to back off. The community doesn't need this. जो उर्दू में सुनना चाहते हैं कि देखिए खुदारा ये वक्त नहीं है ऐसा, ये वक्त का तकाजा है कि मुस्लिम उम्मा में इत्तेहाद, मोहब्बत, इख्तलाफ हमारे थे और रहेंगे। इख्तलाफ भाइयों में भी होते हैं, घरों में होते हैं, बरादरियों में होते हैं, हर सियासत में भी होते हैं, दीन में भी होते हैं। ये इख्तलाफ एक अच्छी चीज है, आप एक दूसरे से हम सीखते हैं, लेकिन ये किसका काम है डिबेट करना? जो उलमाए वो उस पर अबूल रखते हैं। मेरे जैसा बंदा जो मीडिया का बंदा है, मेरा हक नहीं बनता इस इशू पर डिबेट करना। मैं सिर्फ अपील कर सकता हूं अपनी कम्युनिटी की तरफ से, मुसलमानों की तरफ से जो मिडल रास्ते पर हैं कि खुदारा ये काम छोड़ दें, माफ करें इस कौम पर रहम करें। इस कौम के मुखालिफिन बहुत ज्यादा हैं।
Yeah, it's too much. We need to bring people together. Sorry, Shafaka Saab, I'm just bringing some more people in. Sayyid Kazmi Saab is watching. Nagina Bibi is watching. Qasim Lenny says, Tiyan Pehna Sanjay hoti Pehna Sanjay hoti hai. Tiyan Pehna Sanjay hoti hai. As we say in Punjabi, absolutely what you were saying earlier on. Waqar Saab is watching this. Qasim Lenny, daughters and sisters are shared by a community. Taz Hussain, yes, my good friend is there. Nasser Vilayat, somebody called Muhammad Shafakat is watching. Don't know who that person is. Allah khair kare. Siraj Qazi Saab from Luton is here with his. One person, Naeem Rana says, one people, Muslim only, a big loss to the community. Muhammad Umar Saab is watching us as well. I think that's Muhammad Umar. Is that Hafiz Muhammad Umar Saab watching us? I'm just checking the name. Allah Ta'ala bless you, Muhammad Umar. I apologize. I need to ring you. Shafaka Saab, his beloved father, passed away in the last few days. So please pray for his family and pray for the departed soul. Zulfikar Bhutto is watching us, not the Zulfikar Bhutto, I hope. Majid Khan, sorry, I know that was a bit of a low blow, but Imtiaz Kazmi Shah Saab is watching us. Welcome, sir. Muhammad Ali Sagir Akhtar from Rochdale, Muhammad Hanif Saab is there. Jabran Talib Saab, Nabil Qadri Saab, the beautiful Nabil Qadri Saab from Pakistan. Assalamu alaikum Qibla. Meepur, I don't know if you know him, he's a beautiful, young, talented kid, beautiful voice. Sana Khan Mustafa. Asan Shahr na, Meepur na. Zille Shah Saab, Roger Hussain is watching. Kamran Khan is the person who said that comment. I just want to see if I can. No, I'm going to block him later. Sayyid Kazmi Shah Sabi says, it's sad to see people who run mosque, often open mosque to non-Muslims. It's a really powerful point. Yeah. Can I read this to you, sir? It says, it's sad to see people who run mosque, often open mosque to non-Muslims and arrange open days, yet there's so much hatred towards Shia Muslims that there is no Shia allowed to offer salat, arrange funeral in certain mosque. Recently in Bradford, the 3 young lads got killed in an accident, but there was such a fuss about the janazah because one of them was a Shia. I would like to see you and other open-minded people lead the way to highlight this in a more detailed discussion across the whole country. I'm lucky to be strong in so many ways to be able to counter this hatred, but myself being in good position in media and community still faces it on a regular basis, which makes me feel very sad. What would you say to that?
Exactly, 100% is right. You know, we can open masjids, we can visit each other, we can, talk to each other about these issues. And like I said, the ulama, are the best people to debate this, but debate what? To antagonize, to further divide us? No, to debate, to say, okay, this is our, red lines, and let's just try to agree on the
And
things that
what's the red lines? Just tell us what your red lines would be.
When you talk about this, the accusations about the Sahaba, something
yeah. The honor of the Sahaba, the Prophet's wives.
Let me tell you one thing, it's both sides are wrong. That's not to say that,
yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
So, at the end of the day, we as Muslims, we have one Allah, we follow the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, we should love all the Sahaba, we should love all the Ahl Bayt, and then, let me, as an individual who's a gunagar banda, let me try to rectify my own self and my own, and try to get better, because in the grave, in the day of Qiyamah, I'm alone. Your own mother won't recognize you. Your own father won't say nafsi, nafsi. I'm sorry,
so
I'm not giving you nothing. And then on this day, I'm judge, jury, and executioner, and I'm judging people.
Okay.
Allah is the judge.
Sorry. I'm just conscious because we've got loads of comments coming through, and I wanted to bring them in as many as possible. The fact that Facebook have finally done this, because me and you have been trying to find a way to do this. I think we're going to make this a regular feature, inshallah. And obviously, across both our pages, we can then share it and have conversations with people. But I think this is a really good initiative. And there's a couple of people that I want to bring in. Pina Sidin Shah Sahab there. I was talking about Pina Sidin Shah Sahab. Pina Sidin Shah Sahab of Gola Shif used to say that for those, I said it in Urdu, but maybe I should have explained in English for some people. He said that the person who has more enemies is the person who's on the right. If a person doesn't have any enemies, then he's probably doing something wrong. And I thought that really summed up. Muhammad Hussain says, Salam, she's a Muslim. Doesn't matter. Allah is alone to judge. Shame. Jackie Pacey, Sayyid F. Kazmi, Saab. There's quite a few people who want to come in on the video, but obviously you can only do one at a time. So I just want to get through Shah, because Shah Saab says, you can see from the comments as well what Shias face. Shia phobia must be eradicated. I agree. As I said, Shafakat Saab, you made it very...
I'll forget this point. One thing we need to clear. There's people here watching, the Muslim, non-Muslim, Shia, Sunni, everybody's watching. One thing we need to, this problem, this disease is not just in the Muslim, Shia, Sunni. It was in the IRA and what happened in the Northern Ireland, Protestant Catholic. If you go to India, in the Hindu faith, they have different sects and Brahmins and they're untouchable. Let's not just think it's our problem. There's bigots and there's people who think this way in every faith, in every dominion, everywhere across the world. What we, the good, decent people who are on the middle path, need to challenge it and to bring people together. Let them divide. We will bring.
And Kazmi Shah Sahab was talking about the funeral in Bradford. I know about that. I know about the situation. Because it's not about saying to the Shias, you drop your way and adopt the Sunni way, and it's not to Sunnis to say, Sunnis drop your way and adopt the Shia way. It's each having their own way in practicing their faith according to their own interpretations and their own beliefs, and to do in a responsible and respectful way. As I said, and that's really important for me. I've made it, as I said, my whole life has been around tolerance and respect. The very first conference we organized for British Muslim was called Muslim Unity Convention. It was organized in Manchester in 2005. We brought together all of the diversity of the Muslim community onto one platform. They send a very clear message that yes, we'll have our differences, and those differences are genuine on all sides, but let's come together on the issues that we agree with. At the end of the day, she was a Muslim and a human being. Muhammad Hussain says, we are accountable for our own actions. Allah forgive us all, Ameen. Why judge? Shakil Jassim joining us, Nazman, Sabil Nizami Sahab. Muhammad Hussain says, we need to have unity, not divide and conquer. Astaghfirullah, Tawbah. Muhammad Junaid Sahab is watching. Faisal Shokat's Your Majesty Khan. What a name. It's a big name, isn't it? Yeah, Majesty Khan. I'm conscious of time as well, because I've got a call shortly, an interview, so I need to do. So Rizwan Rahman, Zohaib Akram, let's see just comments. Sayyid Asif Ali Saab's awesome, well said, mashallah. Dizzy Adela Adiz, hello Dizzy. Harun Subhani Saab, mashallah. Jawad Saab. There's just lots and lots of people coming on Qibla. Qazi Abdul Aziz Chishti Saab joining us from Luton, mashallah. He's been doing some fantastic work. I don't know if you've been following this, but in terms of funerals and getting them ready,
Yeah.
making sure
Oh,
that they
this
had
is
their
well
ghusl.
known in the
He's
Muslim
doing.
community
He's
across
a
the
and he's a
UK.
pillar of our community, and he's a
Better,
great
better.
leader of our community. So we salute you, sir. Imtiaz Shah Saab, Ahmed Nazir Saab, how are you, sir? Nice to see you. Sakabat Hussain Saab, Arshad, God bless you, brothers. Thank you. You too. Yasser Saab. I'm just skipping through, and I apologize if I don't mention that you're on the call. There should be, this is from Moj Masood, there should be interfaith programs so that Sunnis and Shias are less likely to dehumanize each other. I think this is a really important point because some of the Sunni mosque, council of mosque, isolate and don't include the Shias. And it's really bizarre. I'm not going to name the council of mosques. For those who don't know, council of mosques are a group of mosques in a particular town or city who come together, work together, campaign together, and just kind of a bit of unity. But they don't purposely keep the Shias out, and I just can't understand why.
I mean, this is the thing. I mean, you got Muslim organizations who work with other faiths, be on BME matters or the war in Iraq and everywhere. So why not, just have a panel and then don't discuss the touchy topics, but at least bring them together and
No, but why not touch the touchy topics? I was just telling you about my brother. I was telling you about my. Yeah. No, but that's my point. I'm telling you about my brother Sheikh Muhammad Umar. He sits with Shia scholars and Jubandi scholars and Wahhabi scholars, and they go through the difficult things and they have those debates. And it's done in a respectful.
Listen, Shafiq, I keep saying it. I'm sorry to say, those who brainwashed our youth, those who played this card, Shia Sunni card, you are not friends of the Muslim world. You are doing the work against the Muslim community, and I think you all need to back off and let this community plan. Because I'll tell you one thing: the challenges the Muslim community, the Muslim younger generations face in this country are much bigger than your Shia Sunni challenges. Because like I said, your faith is yours, your belief is yours, your tawheed, your aqidah is yours. If you are so weak and you're scared that somebody will take your aqidah out of you, there's something wrong. So you should be happy with your aqidah.
You should be.
But don't try to implement it onto force it, because there's no compulsion in religion. There's no compulsion in
religion. There is
no
compulsion in religion.
But do your own way and let's bring unity. Because you know what? Let me finally warn the Muslim community. The youth are fed up with this debate. They're not interested. We've got rising crime in the Muslim youth. The prison is full of our youth.
So can
they're
you?
Not interested in it. And they've gone away from us for this very reason. When you talk to, because I've been in the media 30 years, when I try to bring them on the radio stations, they say, you know what, we're not interested. They don't even take part in our debates. You know why? Because they say, all you lot talking about is Pakistani politics or differences between us. So we're not interested. And they're growing up with a different narrative. They're fed up with it. And that's why they do self-search. They go to Sheikh Google and they listen to them, and sometimes can get misled further. And
most of the time, and you look at that.
Bring them together.
Yeah, you look at that sectarianism, and you look at that takfirism, what we call. We saw in ISIS and Daesh, and we see it with Al Qaeda. We see it some elements of the Taliban as well, who basically pass a fatwa of kufr on anybody who doesn't conform to their viewpoint. I think that's the real issue. And actually, you know what? The Shias, the Wahhabis, the Jubandis, the Salafis, the Brelvis, we all believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We believe in the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he's the final prophet, Khatam al-Nabuwwat, we believe in, and that's a pre-requirement. And therefore, we believe in one Quran, we believe in one prophet, we honor and respect the Sahaba, and we honor and respect the Ahlul Bayt, and that's really important. But we need scholars. Well, actually, I would argue that work is happening at an intellectual level. You have seen that dialogue start. Maybe it's not being publicized. Maybe we as people in the media need to talk a bit more about this, and that's why I think it was important to talk about it. Nabila Mushtaq says, well, you need to come online more often, boys. Inshallah, more positive talks like this today might knock some sense into some buggers. The thing I love about Sister Nabila is Shafaka Saab. She tells it as it is.
Well, you got to. In this day and age, you
do. Saf Kafur says, divide and conquer. I want to bring on Sayyid Asif Shah Saab very, very shortly. No, 1 second. I just want to bring him on. I just want to give him a heads up, see if he's still online. And we'll come to him. I mean, what's your final comments? What's to Aya, Hashim? And what about this situation? I know we can't talk about it too much because there's a live police investigation. But the fact that a number of women have been arrested for protecting an offender. I know we can't talk about it in the case in general for legal reasons. But just
Yeah.
what's your thoughts about, you know, when this happens in our community, when somebody's brutally murdered, what we should do and what the reaction should be?
I mean, this alone is an eye-opener for us. See, the debate should be about this, that why our daughters, our youngsters, why there's gun crime, why these things are happening. In Sheffield, we've had these debates in the last few weeks, and we're having it all over the UK now. Bradford, I was on Bradford radio the other day, it's exactly the same debate. That should be our debate. And where did we turn it? We turned it to Shia Sunni.
Yeah,
Do we
crazy.
not know where we stand? Are we still living in cloud cuckoo land? I'm sorry to say. We need to really wake up and smell the coffee. The chicken will come home to roost, as Malcolm X said. It's time. It's time. You know, we've been here 50, 60 years. There's no excuses for our community now that we didn't have the education. We didn't go to the university. We're not in the know-how. We know exactly where we are in the community. And I'll be honest with you, that this is the worrying thing. That if our daughters and our sons are involved in these kind of activities, and you know what? Let's not just put the blame on them as well. Why did they take that path? There's a lot of questions in this community. Self-assessment this community is needed. So we all need to really reflect and get away from these sectarian divides. Think more positive. Bring out the role models. Promote the right people in the politics. If the councillors, the MPs, because they go silent as well when the big issues, happen. Sometimes they go in hiding, but they want the votes, so they need to play their role. Myself, people like yourself, we need to play we're the middlemen. We can bring the communities together on the platforms like British Muslim TV, like people like yourself. I think these debates need to be moved up a bit of a higher level, but we keep them in respect. We will get the negative from it.
Yeah, now we've got, sorry to interrupt, now we've got this platform. We both agreed to do this more on a regular basis, inshallah. And we'll touch various topics. And what I'm trying to do is try to bring in other people as well. But what's on the menu for Eid, Brother Shafaqat? Final question.
For Eid, we're going to have, I think we might have to order something from one of the local chefs here, because, I think treat the ladies of the house.
So that's a fantastic initiative.
Yeah, the same, you know, the rice and the gajrela and the tikke and everything. But another final message I'll give on Eid, try not to get together for Eid, which our families are missing out on that as well. So, you know, maybe one or two households, I don't know how, but, you know, keep it limited.
Yeah, well, you can't. I just remember talking to my mum the other day, and we were talking about Eid, and, you know, I said to her, what we're going to do for Eid, and she said, you're all going to stay at home and do it in your own houses, because she understands this virus. And, you know, I didn't comment, elders, but thank you so much for joining us, Qibla. It's been a pleasure. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm trying to add.
I'll say Allah first, everybody, and Eid Mubarak to all of you. After Eid, I'm starting a new radio show. It'll be similar hard-hitting stuff, and I'll be there. I've got your back, Shafiq.
And I've got your back, and we'll do it together.
Allah to work together, and we need to bring all media people on the platform, and we need to discuss it openly, but with respect and dignity for everybody. And we are Sunni. We one day together, stay united, please. Allah, Rasul ke waste, we are one Ummah. That's my final message.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Let me just see if so if you, okay, so that I think now we can add Sayyid Asif Shah Sahab. Again, as I said, I just wanted to give you an opportunity. Thank you, Mohammed Shafaqat Sahab, and what we've promised to do between us, particularly in social media now, we'll be able to do this discussion and debate. Okay, so we were going to invite Brother Sayyid Asif Shah Sahab. I'm just going to see if we can add a few people here. Just to give you a different viewpoint. Okay, that's fine. So let's go through Sayyid Asif Sahab. He says, sorry, lost connection for a minute. Well, I'm trying to bring you on there, Sayyid Asif Shah Sahab. And really, it's an opportunity just to have a discussion, because we don't have those discussions. We don't necessarily understand the huge pain that those parents are going through in dealing with the fact that their daughter's being killed. And then we bring it in. So let's bring in Ali Asghar Shah Sahab, who's a member of the Shia community, just to see what his thoughts are on this. And whilst we're waiting for him, Ivan Humble says, Assalamu alaikum, more interesting conversation. It's about coming together on your common ground and not attacking a different. Why is people declining my invitation to come online? So anybody else wants to come on and talk to me, let's have a chat. Luqman Qadhi says, how can we tolerate cursing of the Sahaba companions? We're not about tolerating. As I said, I believe the opinion that the cursing of the Sahaba is not acceptable and is haram, in my opinion, and about the Prophet's blessed wives. And there's a diversity of opinion within the Shia community. Now, if you just live in your own living room and if you just live in your own community, you won't see that. But there's huge diversity. And as there is within Sunnis different groups and different opinions, there is within the Shia community. And there are some extreme elements who hold that viewpoint, but there are others who don't. And I think that the central point is that we have these differences. They've been there for a very long time. They're not going to change. But let's put that to one side and actually on the issues that we want to work on. Should we be able to work collectively together on the issues of civil liberties, on the issues of Islamophobia, attacks against our community, the issue of war, civil liberties, individual religious freedom. These are issues that commonly affect us, and we should be able to work on that. But, you know, I think, Luqman Qadri, you're absolutely right. We can't tolerate it. But again, you know, the sense that we have religious freedom, and that's their opinion. Now, if somebody was to dishonor, disrespect the Prophet's wives or the Prophet's Sahaba companions, then I wouldn't stay in that conversation. I'd always walk away. And there have been occasions in the past when I've been in those situations and I've had to walk away quietly, but you say, well, I don't want to be part of this conversation because, for me, the Prophet's Sahaba and the Prophet's wives are most beloved. So I hope that answers your question. But it's about being able to have that dialogue and discussion and debate, which I think is very, very important. I'm just going through the comments here. Our house is on fire and we're sat in the house arguing over which TV channel to watch. Get out, put out the fire, then worry about which TV channel you want to watch. The Ummah is a big, big problem. If we don't wake up now, when are we going to wake up? And then you see the Saf Ghafoor, you spot on, my brother. You talk about that, don't you? And I think that's really, really important. Now I'm going to try and get Sayyid Kazmi Shah Sahab on and see if that works. Just to give you a Shia perspective, I think it's important. And inshallah, I think over the years, what we're going to do is, I don't know who you are, Luqman Qadri. You might find it funny, but for me, honoring the Sahaba and the Prophet's wives is very, very important. But it might be a laughing matter for you. But you know, you can have that. We have to remember that no one has been convicted yet. They're still innocent. Absolutely. Hamdan Sufi Patel, they absolutely agree with you on that. They are totally innocent, and until they're charged and convicted, they're innocent. So we have to be very careful in how we discuss it. That's why I was interested with Muhammad Shafaqat. I wanted to do that. Chaudhry Walid Hasnain Haidari says Sunni Shias can keep their beliefs, however, we must learn to accept the difference of opinion of others. I can't disagree with that, but I think the starting point has to be adab and respect of the Sahaba and the Prophet's wives. You know, we can't get more basic than that, and they have to be prepared to accept that. And we have to be prepared. And that's not saying they compromise on their beliefs. They might have opinions about the Sahaba, and they might have opinions, whatever views they have. But it's saying that should be the starting point. And the same, there are a sense of Kharijiyat that is that you know has embedded itself within the Sunni Barevi community. That somehow, you know, Bughz Ali and Bughz Ahlul Bayt, that needs to be taken away from our community as well. I think that's really important. Thank you so much for that comment. Eid Mubarak to everyone. We'll finish on Eid Shafiq by Nabil Saab. We love you, brother. Inshallah, very, very soon. We'll see you, inshallah, Pakistan when I come. I'm just getting through some of these. I'm trying to join, brother. Can you send an invite, please? Saeed Asif Saab, I'm trying to add you, sir, and it doesn't. You don't want to come on for some reason. I don't know what that is. So approve that. Can't be in cabinet. It's already guest. There's a guest in. Okay. It keeps saying the guest has declined the live invite.